Hello and welcome to another how-to video. In this one I'm going to show you how to clean and coat your fabric roofs. It's a good time of the year, it's summer here in the UK at the moment, so it's a good time. Well, most people have got their cabriolets out, taking them for nice drives. And if your roof is looking dirty, a bit green, if it's not the actual colour it's supposed to be, but a bit green, a bit dirty and stuff, it can actually make the appearance of the vehicle look a bit sad. And it's very, very simple to actually solve that problem and make the roof look as good as new again. And I'm going to show you how. So with SONAX we have many different ranges. With over 500 liquid products we have quite a few different ranges, so there's a lot of products. So we have a couple of options. We have our DIY system, which is really easy to use for the home user, and then we have our professional system for professionals. This doesn't mean that this one's better than that one, and I'll take you through the differences in a minute, and there's no reason why at home you can't use this system. It's just the larger quantities, etc. So I'll take you through that now. So the first thing we need to do is clean the roof before we do anything. I've actually gone ahead and done this already because this was like a last minute video. We just had the car in for training, so I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video on the coating process, so I'll talk you through the cleaning process. So in the DIY range we have our cabriolet hood cleaner. Now this is pre-diluted, ready to use. 500 ml, so more than enough to clean a roof. It's not going to damage paintwork or anything like that. It's reasonably safe. It's quite a strong cleaner, alkaline based, which it should be, to remove organic dirt from the roof. And you simply just spray this all over and then agitate with leather and textile brush. Okay, same one we use for interior, but it's, get out of the box. It's quite a nice ergonomic shape, but yeah, it gives you the power to deep clean into the fabric and help the cleaner reach a bit further in to really pull out that green mould and just general dirt that's able to penetrate the fabric. Now the reason why it's being able to penetrate the fabric is because there's no coating on it. If fabric is not waterproof, then the water can penetrate, so can the dirt, and then it sits in the fabric, and actually if left for too long it can actually start to rot the seams and the stitching, and then that will cause, you know, expensive problems down the line. So it really makes sense to look after it. In the professional range we have, for the cleaner, we have our multi-star. Okay, now you dilute this 1 to 10 into a pump sprayer or a spray bottle, and use it in exactly the same way you do this one once diluted. Spray it all over the roof. You can leave it a few minutes to dwell, then agitate with a brush all the way around, and then once you have finished cleaning, the main thing, and this is really important, is you must wash the cleaner out of the roof. So you must continue to rinse until all of the cleaner is out. So if you're still seeing soap coming out, then continue to rinse, because if you leave any cleaner in there, it will massively affect your ability of the coating. Okay, in fact it can affect it so much that it won't work, because the surfactants, the soaps in the cleaner will actually massively affect them and degrade their performance. So you must make sure you remove all the soap from the fabric. Now once you've done that, again, it's very simple, just let it dry. Now you can speed the process up. If it's a nice hot day, the sun's out, it won't take long for this to dry. In fairness, this probably took about 45 minutes to dry. It's obviously a black roof, direct sunlight, it didn't take long at all. If it's a bit, you know, if it's winter or something like that, and you have the facilities, if you have a carpet washer or something, you can always extract the water out of the roof using a carpet washer. And that will just help the drying process. But that's the second point, it must be dry before you come to coating. All right, so onto the coatings. We have two types. Okay, now this one here, this is our cabriolet roof and textile impregnator. Fantastic name, but that's what it is. All right, and this one is for the DIY user. So if I do a little bit of unboxing here, you get an applicator sponge, okay, and you get a product in an aerosol. Okay, it's actually a foam aerosol. Okay, and there is enough in there to do probably 2 roofs easily. You know, so if you buy this little kit for yourself, you're going to be able to do your vehicle twice, which is easily going to be more than a year's worth of protection for it. So it does go a long way. Now, we have a newer version of that product now, which is our Profiline Fabric Coating. Okay, this is a newer version of this, so it is a different recipe and it does have better performance. But this is still fantastic, still gives you the hydrophobic effect, and it's very easy to use. This one being the larger bottle makes it more cost effective for professionals when they're doing multiple roofs. Okay. With both of these products, if you notice, fabric coating, cabriolet hood and textile, you can obviously coat your roofs, but you can also coat other textiles. So if it's your trainers, if it's your car mats, if it's your seats, if it's Alcantara, I think I already said coats, but if it's your coats, etc., this will work perfect for it. So, you know, not just your cabriolet hood, but if you have a nice pair of fancy trainers that you want to look after, then these are great for that as well. Okay, so let's move on to the actual coating. So I'm going to cut to that. Okay, so let's move to the application process. It is actually remarkably simple. So with this kit here, which is obviously the DIY kit, it comes with a sponge applicator. Okay, so you have the product, the applicator, everything you need all in one. With the fabric coating in the Profiline range, it doesn't come in an applicator. So there are a few ways you can apply it. You can either use a sponge applicator, the SONAX sponge applicator, which we use for polishes and waxes, and you can apply to that and spread. But what we find actually is the best way to apply it is with a little foam roller. Okay, not the microfiber, but the foam one, the sponge one. All right, and then we can use it in the tray, and then we can roll it on. What we found in testing is that this gives an amazing even finish and makes the product go further, and actually it gives a better performance. So that's the way. So let me take you through how to do it. Let's move this one on. I'll start with that one first. Let's move the box. Okay, so I have a clean roof. I hope you can see that bit. I'll do it up here. I think you should be able to see. We have a clean roof. It's completely dry. Now it's ready for coating. Right. You look a bit mental doing this, but you can just give it a quick hoover before you apply this, which will just pick up any dust that's landed on it while drying or whatever. You do get some funny looks from neighbours, etc., but it is a good idea just to give it a quick hoover. Okay, so here we go, and we have the applicator. We spray on. You can see it's like a foam. It's not like a foam, it is a foam. Right? And then all we do, we let it soak into the applicator, and then we just spread this onto the roof. And you just crisscross just to make sure that you get an even coverage. And I mean, that is very, very simple, but you just keep moving around the hood and just keep reapplying it. What that will do is soak into the fibres of the hood, and then give it that amazing waterproof effect. Okay, so that is very simple. Just repeat. Okay, it doesn't matter if you use half the can. Obviously, you know, the more you use, the better. Not the better the durability, but the better the coverage you're going to get. So you're not going to get, you know, some bits that bead really well and some bits which are okay. So don't be frightened to apply, you know, quite a decent amount of product, and really let it soak into the fabric. So don't be tight with it, basically. Okay, now after application, again, it's a very, very simple process for curing. Just let it dry. So you can leave it out in the sun. If you're in a nice garage or a nice studio that I'm lucky to have, you can just leave it, and it's approximately an hour. Okay, so once you've applied, just let it dry, 1 hour, and then it's done. Perfect. We have found as well that obviously heat helps, so if it's out in the sun, that really helps with durability of the product. So, I mean, you can't get any simpler than that, to be honest. Right, let's move to the Profiline Fabric Coating. Here we have a little sponge roller and the fabric coating. We pour this in. Again, don't be tight with it. just a foam roller. Saturate the roller, remove as much excess as you can. Just to be fair, it's just like painting a wall. Again, if you've just hoovered your roof and then you're outside painting it with a paint roller, then your neighbours are going to think that you're slightly weird. But it's okay, because when it rains and the water's just falling off of the roof, then hopefully you'll get back some of your street cred. So we just make sure that's evenly saturated, and then it's just a matter of just rolling it on. And you know, it's not a mad process. There's no tricks or hint of trips. It is literally just like painting your wall. Again, it's not going to matter if you apply too much of the product. You know, less is certainly not more in this case. It will all dry even, so it's no problem. See how this one applies a bit wetter. You can always have a look. So sometimes when you're rolling it on, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but as soon as you put it onto your gloves, you can see how wet that is. So, you know, once it starts to get less product on the roller, you can worry that it needs more, but actually just do a bit of test on the gloves. Definitely wear gloves when using these products. They're safe if used correctly. They're biodegradable and they're safe, but there are a few things that we recommend not doing, which is not spraying it. Actually, you can spray it, but you must take precautions. So make sure you mask off any glass, any paintwork, any rubber, just to make sure that the hood is exposed, okay? And it's a very, very, very good idea to wear a mask, because you don't want to be inhaling the atomized product. It's fine to inhale the fumes and stuff. You know, you don't want to be head on there sniffing away at it, but you know, whilst you're using it, it's fine. But just don't atomize it without wearing a mask. This one, obviously, is very, very simple. You're just foaming it onto an applicator and wiping it around, so there's certainly not that. But yeah, if you're going to spray the fabric coating, which you can do, just make sure you take precautions. And it's the same when rolling it on with a roller. You know, if you're near any windows, like the back window, or you know, the aluminium, this is actually wrapped satin. But the rubbers and stuff, just take precautions. Maybe put a bit of tape on it to stop you touching onto it. It's not the end of the world. It's not, you know, put it on there and it's a complete disaster, but you just make more work for yourself than removing a bit of tape. So, and there we go. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to wait for this to cure, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the fantastic water behavior, because it is insane. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that's it all applied. I've done a few, as you've seen. I did one area with this one area with the fabric coating. So I'll be able to show you the water behaviors of both. I've just, actually, once I finished it, the sun is baking. It's about 26 degrees today, so it was a really good idea. Once I finished, I actually moved it outside to allow it to cure, because I said earlier, we found that actually the sun and the heat actually improves the durability of the coating, also makes it cure faster. So, but I've still left it the hour. I left it outside for about 45 minutes. I brought it back in to cool down for 15 minutes because it was absolutely roasting. But now it's quite cool. So I'm going to show you the water behavior. So here we have with our jug. I'm just going to pour this on, and hopefully, if I've applied it properly, the water will just fall off. There we go. I'm getting soaked by it. It's pretty amazing. And that is obviously a massive help to the hood. So it stops water penetrating it, stops the dirt penetrating it, which means that it stays cleaner longer. You also you're not at risk of, you know, the stitching and stuff rotting, and it will just help keep the roof in its optimal condition for longer. Again, it doesn't need to be the roof, as we spoke about. Both of these can be applied to different textiles, different fabrics, whether it's your seats, carpets, shoes, coats, bags, whatever you want, you can use it. And that's it. I think I've pretty much covered everything. It's quite enjoyable and satisfying to do that. So I'm going to carry on doing that off camera, and I will hopefully catch you in the next video.